Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Judge Person. I'm going to leave everybody on mute because I want to make sure we don't have a lot of interference. Sorry for the delay. I was working through the technology a little bit this morning, and I do see some people connecting to audio, so I may start repeating myself in a moment. We have two lines, technically lines, that we're working today, and I want to go ahead and start the pretrial line simply because I know there are people here ready to go. Mr. Swain, you were the first one to log in with Ms. Rice, and I know you both know the drill for how to do that system. So I'm going to go ahead and move you forward and let y'all get started. So good morning. My name is Judge Person. I do welcome everybody to court this morning. And I've got everybody on mute because if we all unmute at once, no one will hear anything. We'll just hear like a lot of vibration. And that might be interesting, but it's not what we're here to do. So I do want to just greet you and let you know a few things about court. This is the Temple Municipal Court. So as a municipal court, we're hearing Class C offenses only, okay? So anything that's pending here, it's a Class C. What that means for our purposes is that what we're dealing with, if you're found guilty, is the payment of fines and costs. And I do that on a case-by-case basis. If someone's found guilty, I look at their finances. You're probably in this meeting because the clerk might have looked at it and been unable to do either what you were asking or what they are allowed to do. They've got some limits to what they can do. Some people are here who have not yet entered a plea, so I'm going to just hit all those highlights, okay? So I do want to let you know that when you're given a ticket or issued a citation, those are all methods that we have under the law for accusing someone. That's what a ticket is. Just for a quick moment, I do want to ask a quick question. Mr. Norman, can you get off? It looks to me like you're driving a car. Are you driving? Mr. Norman, Derek Norman, are you driving a car? Are you driving a car?
Hello, sorry, I was trying to mute. Yes, I'll be parking here shortly, probably about 2 minutes.
Back when you're driving, when you're lawful. It's illegal to do that, so I'll remove you till you're done.
Okay, I'll rejoin here shortly.
Bye. Okay, so don't do that, please. It's a crime to do that. And just don't break the law on screen, please. We don't want to see you in an accident either, you know, and that's a leading cause of accident in Texas. Don't get me started on that one. So Ms. Rice, Mr. Swain, I know you've previously done the discovery on this case. Let me get the file real quickly. And if y'all want to just unmute and let me know what's the update right now.
Yes, so Judge. I think, I'm so sorry, Mr. Swain,
right.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I received the discovery yesterday, Judge, so I'm still reviewing that. So we were going to request that I think the final pretrial date is January 12th.
Yes.
And that works for me. That's fine. That should be plenty of time.
Okay. We'll see you then. And 3 o'clock is your appointed.
All right. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. And then the next person is Mr. Meyer. Mr. Meyer, I'll go ahead and send you over. You've done this before. Attorneys mostly have been doing this. And Ms. Rice, he's already gone on it. So I do want to let you know when you're given a ticket or issued a citation, those are all methods that we have under the law for accusing someone. That is what a ticket is. It's an accusation. A plea is an answer or response to the accusation. There are 3 options for pleading: guilty, not guilty, and no contest. If you plead guilty, you're saying, I did this. If you plead no contest, you're allowing me to find you guilty without saying you did or didn't do it. If you plead not guilty, you're saying I'm contesting this. The state should prove that case against me. If you plead not guilty, we're moving that case forward like it's going to a trial process. So there's a pretrial docket, that's today for some folks. And then there's a final pretrial, that's a pretrial, it's not a trial. That is, and they are not optional. You're required to be here. If you're on the pretrial docket today, that's a conversation. with the state. She represents the state, not you. I'm sure she'll tell you that. And, you want to, she's really more to give you information about options and also her position. She sometimes can articulate her position on the case. And then at the final pretrial, when you come into the building, that you were already set for that at the same time that you were set for this meeting. That final pretrial is to schedule trial, establish a bond, and go through some rights that you have under the Constitution that I need to make you aware of in person. So this is a required meeting if you pled not guilty, but it's also a convenience. It does allow people to sometimes get things resolved, sometimes not. And I don't have an opinion as to whether or not you resolve your case. I'm just here to talk to you about your options. Ms. Rice, if you could, and Mr. Meyer, you can chime in a moment as well. Where are we on the case of the gun case, I believe, Marcy Gunn?
I think we've reached a resolution, Your Honor. The state's requesting to dismiss the VPTA in exchange for a plea of no contest to the speeding, and then requesting a deferral for the speeding. And Mr. Meyer said that his client probably won't be able to make payment today, so it'd be a 120-day deferral.
Okay. Okay, and Ms. Rice, if you'll hold on a moment, I'll start moving. Mr. Meyer, quick question. Can your client pay within 30 days?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, the 30th day is a little bit more than the 30th day due to holidays. It'll be January 25th. What we're going to do is email over the dismissal and the deferred paper sometime this morning, and I would like to get it back from you today. And
Absolutely.
And then I'll have the speed is not excessive, and the offense, your client isn't under 25, so I'm not requiring a class, and the state didn't ask for one either. The deferred ends April 21st, and payment on the 25th. Do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor, that works for me.
Okay, I'll let you log off, but just keep an eye out on your email for the paper so we can get those today.
We'll take care of it. Thank you,
Oh,
Your
Your
Honor.
Honor, I did have a
Yes.
question. Do you
Yes.
need me to send over that dismissal, or is that something that the court can do? Because I can,
Can we do
if you
one?
send me the paperwork, I can sign off on it.
We can do one because you've made a motion.
Okay, great.
Thank you, but I do want to put a hair in your bonnet about the possibility of getting those
The motions.
prosecutor options reviewed maybe sometime after the holiday. But
Yes, that
Mr.
is my
Meyer,
goal. I've done 4.
I know you've got a lot. Mr. Meyer, I'll let you go. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you. And Ms. Rice, if you'll stay handy for a moment, just reviewing options for a quick moment. And so I do want to let you know, everyone, that if you plead guilty or no contest, then I'm moving that case into sentencing. Okay. And there are options in sentencing that I want you to know about. For example, and just one moment to the clerk. Yeah, let me just fill it in. Yeah. So there are options I want you to know about. And that is, there's still 4 ways to gain a dismissal, even where you pled guilty or no contest. And I'm going to tell you what they are, and then I'm going to tell you how they work. Okay. I like to orient people because most of us didn't wake up today just thinking about how to deal with a Class C offense in municipal court. And there's some things that are unique about it, even if you've watched proceedings in other types of courts. So compliance dismissals, driver safety course options, deferred dispositions, and team court are all methods we have for dismissing a case. Compliance are things that can be brought up to date and dismissed. The law needs to specify that that's an option. Otherwise, it's not. Okay. And it's not always intuitive. It's not everything you can bring up to date. For example, if you have tires that are out, they're bald, or a light bulb that's out, that's a defect that can be remedied on time to court. First appearance, show me proof that it's fixed, dismissal, $10. Okay. Insurance, if you didn't have it at the time of the stop, the law doesn't, I mean, you're going to need to get insurance because you're subject to continuing to be stopped and getting. But the reality there is that if you are in an accident and you're not insured, you're not covered. So the law doesn't allow for after the fact dismissals on that. So, there's some options available, such as potentially a deferred, but not a compliance dismissal. With compliance dismissals, number one of the four, I don't expect you to know all the options, what's available for each thing. So I'll tell you, okay? And I actually didn't see really any of those, maybe one this morning on the docket, but I'll look, okay? Second type of dismissal is if you qualify to meet the driver safety course program and you successfully complete it. Now, let me talk to you just a little bit about court costs and fines. So the money here, the way that that works, and there's a lot that we could say about it. I'm going to give you the brief synopsis, okay? Every ticket has a court cost and a fine. And when I give you a number, I'm giving you a whole number, okay? But if you broke it down, one way to break it down is what goes to the state of Texas and what stays local for streets and roads, okay? So the part that goes to the state of Texas is set by the Texas legislature. And I can't change it, is what that actually ultimately means. I don't have control of that one. Okay. But the part that is local is the local fine. I do control that one. Okay. The whole number is the amount that's predetermined. But then I look at people's circumstances when I do sentencing and see what's appropriate under the facts of the case and the circumstances. Okay. So that's when I can listen to facts in a case. But in the driver safety course option, the fine, the local amount, that goes on hold. The state cost has to get paid because we send them to Austin. They don't stay local. So we have to justify what's happening there, okay? You pay the court cost, the fine goes on hold, you turn in a driving record and a driving course. They have to be the right kind of record, the right kind of course, so be very careful about what you're doing there. We'll give it to you in writing, okay? But you turn it in on time, your ticket gets dismissed. It's not on your record as a conviction, okay? The fine gets waived, and that means that you pay less, even though you pay for the course and the record, it's still less expensive than if you paid the whole amount. That's for a reason. The reason that we do it that way is because we want people once a year, if they need it, to take that course, because we know they drive better for about a year after they take that course. And then they start sliding again if they're prone to sliding. Okay. So that's what it is. And again, pre-qualifying, I'll look and see if you're pre-qualified and I'll talk to you about it. And if you want to do it and we can set it up, then we do that. If you don't want to do it, no one's here to force you. We're encouraging it. Okay. But I can't force you to do it. It's a willing program, right? But it's incentivized with money savings and a dismissal. Okay, so it's worth it. In my esteemed opinion, it's worth it. But, because, the safety issue, we are the #1 state in America, and we have been for decades. And if you're 25 or under, you're in the super group of death and dismemberment on the roadway. And if you're already here with a ticket, you move to a higher bracket. And if you're here with a ticket for an accident, you're in the #1 group. And that's the group that tends to die, okay? So I'm here in part for that purpose, okay? I'm here to enforce the court order. And that's why I try to make an intelligent court order right up front. It's why I get that information that you filled out for us. It's why I'm looking at it and putting you in here to talk to me. People who don't show up, they just get what I can figure out from what they gave me. But I really am eager to listen if I need to and talk to you about things, okay? But the driver safety course option is a good option for a moving violation if you qualify and are willing to get it done, okay? Enough about that. I'm going to move on to the third one. The third one is called a deferred disposition. Tends to be helpful where the other two don't work. There, we're looking at the costs and fines and a sentencing that when you say deferred disposition, it's exactly what it sounds like. Deferred means to delay, and disposition means to make final. I accept the plea of guilty or no contest. You make a request for a deferred. Guilty or no contest, I'd like a deferred. You ask for a deferred directly from the judge or from the prosecutor, okay? And then if I grant it, which I don't have to, but I'm pretty prone to granting them. If it's granted, we work out fines and costs. That's individual. Each person's situation is slightly different. Sometimes there's a class, sometimes there's a record. There can be a few things for you to do, okay? But the biggest part is no more tickets during the deferred period, which is up to 180 days, depending on the situation. And also getting everything turned in on time, keeping your address current, don't getting more tickets and not getting arrested. If you meet those requirements, your case then gets dismissed at that final date. So deferrals, the trick is to request at the time of the plea, okay? Guilty or no contest, I'd like a deferred. It's that simple, okay? The fourth one is if you are qualified to be in the teen court program. If you're qualified to be in the teen court program, I'm probably going to be pushing it because it's actually, especially with driving, but with criminal offenses too, it's the best way for me to see about not having you back in court. It's the most successful option in terms of what we call recidivism, reoffending. Less likely to reoffend if you successfully complete a teen court program. Okay, so that's the 101, okay? As far as payment and fines and costs, I'm looking at each person's circumstances. That's why I got your income information. If you didn't fill it out, we're going to painstakingly do that while we talk on the internet. Otherwise, I'm looking at what you gave me. I'll ask you questions if I have them. Ms. Rice, I'm going to move you forward. Ms. Alexandra Rojas is next on your list. And Ms. Rojas, what's going to happen now is that you will receive an invitation to a meeting and it'll drop you into another room, we call it. Then what will happen is after that conversation, you'll come back in here. Don't just leave because I need to have some words with you before you go. Okay, you should have that invitation now, and Ms. Rice will meet you there. I'm going to let in two more people. One is our driver that we all saw a few moments ago, and the other is someone new. And I'm going to let them come in, and then I'm going to ask, I have someone on the telephone. On the telephone, it's a phone number beginning with 254, ending in 346. Can you unmute and tell me your name, please? Hello on the phone?
Okay.
Hi. No, you're not on the phone, Mr. Hermadka. You might be on a phone, but I actually can see you. But is your phone number ending in 346?
Good question. It's a text now number I have.
Okay. Did you dial in on a telephone first?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, that might be you. So you dialed in on a telephone and then you came in on another phone?
No, it's my text now number.
You're on that same device?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that isn't you then. Somebody's in here on a phone and I'm hitting them with an unmute request. Hello on the telephone, could you unmute? Yes.
Hello.
Hi, what's
Hi.
your name, please? Hi.
My name is Taylor Durfee.
Hi, Ms. Durfee. Okay, I have you down. I will tell you that I haven't been able to identify you and I definitely want to talk to you. So if for any reason we get disconnected, please log back in, call back in, because I definitely have some questions and I want to get things ironed out with you. We've scheduled you,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
think, a few times. So stay handy. What you're not able to do is see what we're doing on screen. And if you have access to the internet, you can go onto YouTube and watch. But the other option too is if you have a device that will put you on screen, it will help. But you can be on the phone if that's your choice. I'm going to go ahead and mute you now, but I'll be back with you. Just listen, Ms. Durfee, for me to
Okay.
call your name, because when I get to your name, if I call you and you don't respond, then I skip to the next person and I keep trying. Eventually we get there, but sooner the better. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Stay listening.
Mhm.
All right. And So I'm going to move along and we'll start with Kelly Rawls. Kelly Rawls, if you will go ahead and unmute. I'd like to have you on screen too, if you're able to do both. And thank you, Mr. Rawls. How are you this morning?
Doing okay now. Thank you.
Okay, can you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let me just kind of look at everything because I know you're self-employed. So when that happens, you know, people give me an estimate of what's happening financially, but I know I have only part of the picture. What is it that you do for income?
At the moment, ma'am, me and my wife scrap metal for a living.
You have what?
Scrap metal.
Okay, okay. So not necessarily a steady thing.
No, ma'am.
And I did notice that your financial affidavit is from April 15th. That's pretty far back in the past. Have y'all moved? Have y'all moved since then? What is your rent like?
I pay $250 a month right now. I sublet from somebody.
Okay.
I just sent in a financial affidavit yesterday.
Okay. Let me look. Have the clerk look for it.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll look and see. Just one moment. While she's looking, what do you think that you bring in monthly doing what y'all are doing right now?
I estimate somewhere around 600.
Okay, together?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, y'all were receiving food stamps back in April. Is that still the case?
Yes, ma'am.
And what's that amount?
It's a little over 500 at the moment.
Okay, and children in the house?
No, ma'am.
And is your wife or are you disabled?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Any of your dependents? Do you have any other dependents?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And then your electric bill?
That's included in the rent.
Okay.
I pay,
And water, is water included?
yes, ma'am.
And do you have a phone bill?
I do. It's
What?
it's 94 a month.
Okay. And then do you have any unpaid medical that's currently in a billing process?
No, ma'am. I have the other bill I have is my insurance bill, which is 70, right at 70 a month.
Okay. And then you put other on your plan underneath food stamps, other assistance of $600 a month. What is that for?
I don't know.
Okay. I think it might just mean what you've got going on financially. I got it. Never mind. You also had child support in the last one that you were paying. Are you still paying child support?
Yes, ma'am.
How much is that monthly supposed to be?
Supposed to be 720. Oh, I'm sorry, 570.
Okay. Is that currently behind?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. No car payment?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So I am at this time going to declare indigency, and therefore I'm going to reorder community service. I do want to caution you when I'm looking at community service, and we've had community service before, and we just need to get to a point where you understand I've got limits on how often I can, how many times
Yes,
we
ma'am.
can default on that.
Okay.
Because right now, okay, it turns into 193 hours. And I can give you to start out with 60 days.
Okay.
And that will allow me to see what you can get done.
Okay.
Okay, I need you to come in and pick up the packet for community service.
Yes,
How
ma'am.
quickly, when can you come in this morning?
As soon as we get off a court here, ma'am.
Okay, we should have something to you pretty quickly at the front desk. You'll come in, it'll just take about 15 or so minutes.
Yes, ma'am. I
But
appreciate it.
your deadline means that if it's not all done and turned in and verified, then it's not done. And it means you should be here writing me a letter of explanation, asking for an extension, turning in what you have, letting me know how much more time you need. You need to think about it as I could be arrested if I don't get this done, because that is what's true. and you currently have warrants, and I'll recall them and give you another chance to do it, Mr. Rawls, because you're here today and you bothered to show up. So I'll do that, but I need you to take it seriously enough to follow up on it, because when that happens a third time, I'm not very helpful at that point.
Okay, I understand, ma'am, and I appreciate your help.
I need your attention.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I think I've made the point, so I'm not going to beat you over the head about it, but really take it to heart. Okay.
Great. Thank you. Yes, ma'am, I will.
Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am, you hit everything I needed to know.
Okay. Thank you. We'll see you up here shortly.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye-bye. Ms. Rice, I know you were talking with Ms. Rojas, and if I could hear from you.
Yes, I think that we're working towards a resolution. If we could just keep her final pretrial date on January 12th, I think we can work something out by then.
Okay, February 12th. I'm sorry.
January 12th.
January
If I said the wrong date, I'm sorry.
Okay, January 12th at 2:00. And you might have seen that extra too, Ms. Rice. We'll see you here, Ms. Rojas, on January 12th at 2:00. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. You are good to go. And Ms. Rice, I'm going to move you forward with Walter Harrison and Mr. Harrison. That invitation is coming away. Click on it, but remember to come back in this room when you're done. And I'm moving forward then with yes, Marissa Aguilar. Can you unmute, Ms. Aguilar?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I did review the information that you gave me. These already had a plea, so I didn't need to review that. I just had a question. You have, $1,400 in bills every month and no income. How are you paying your bills? Are you paying your bills? Okay.
I'm a stay-at-home mom.
Okay. So you had requested, so here's the thing. You requested a payment plan. We already tried community service. I'm willing to do a low payment plan if that's your request today.
Yes, because the reason why whenever I requested community service for the second time, I didn't know that they were transferring my significant other to Waco. And he was the one that was taking me to community service the first time because he was working in Temple. But
Okay.
then that week after I requested, they transferred him to Waco, so I didn't have a ride for community service. That's why I wasn't able to get done the second time. But I'm willing to make a low payment plan, or my grandma said she would be willing to help give me a ride for community service if that's an option, but I know.
Yeah, I think it's probably an option. I have a quick question. Have you moved to Waco?
No, ma'am. Still at the same place.
Okay. And on your payment application, you didn't list children. Stay-at-home mom. How many children do you have?
I have 3, but I'm currently I have 3, but who live with me it's 1.
Okay. What's your how old is your child?
3.
3. And what's his name or her name?
Jamie Gutierrez.
Son? Daughter?
Son.
Okay.
He's a
And-
junior.
Okay. Do you receive child support for him, or do you pay child support for any children?
No, I'm actually I just went to court in October for my other 2 sons, and I had to start paying $250 a month. Because with my youngest son, I'm dealing with CPS. I was an addict for 10 years. I recently just went to rehab back in March. I did inpatient and outpatient. CPS is currently involved. My case is about to close here probably within the next 2-3 months because I've completed all my services. But when that happened, my father of my other 2 boys, he took me to court also, and I don't have a job. I didn't have money to get a lawyer. So when the judge put the child support on me, I didn't tell her that I didn't have a job. So I have half of that money, but I was supposed to start paying in November, but I have half of the money. for that.
Okay.
I'm sorry, it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. But it sounds like you're on the upward trajectory of getting on top of
Yes.
things. So that's great to hear.
Thank you.
I can go ahead and try community service with you under these circumstances.
Yes, ma'am.
If you would prefer to do that, that's okay with me.
Yes, I definitely can do that.
It would turn into 48 hours.
Okay.
Since you've already signed your paperwork, I can email everything over to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Your due date is going to be February 22nd.
Okay.
You got a warrant, which is not good for your other cases. So please keep up with it.
Yes, ma'am. Most definitely.
And we'll email that over to you. If you don't have it, you know how it works.
Yes,
We've had it before. But remember the list of places, and it's probably changed. And so take a good look at it. And then also the other thing to keep in mind, which is that due date, don't let it go. Okay. Because you're on my three's the either pay up or go to jail kind of thing. So,
Yes,
you're there. So let's get, if you can't get it all done, I understand that, but I want you to come in and talk to me about it. So come talk to a clerk. And if they can't move you forward into a resolution plan, we'll put you in to talk with me. But normally it's coming in the day before, bringing me what you've got, or even emailing it and asking for an extension. Let me know how much time you need. Really pretty, we make it really easy, but
Yes,
then
ma'am.
I'm not very helpful if you're not managing to do it. So let's get it done, okay?
Okay, thank you. All
Okay, all right. Thanks, Ms. Aguilar.
right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And I forgot to. Thank you. And so I'm moving forward with Minerva Laura. But before I do that, did I see Ms. Price? Okay, Miss Laura, let me get your file pulled up. How are you this morning?
I'm good, and you?
Well, I'm fine. I do have a no contest plea on a no driver's license charge, and you are 16 today, is that right?
Yes.
Yes. Where's your parent?
He's right next to me.
Perfect. What's your name, Dad?
Eduardo Lara.
Say it again.
Eduardo Lara.
Spell the last name.
Lara.
Sorry, and Elando. Is that it?
Edward.
I got Laura. Edward or Eduardo.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Sorry, I wasn't hearing you right. How are y'all this morning?
We're good.
So real quick question for Minerva. I can accept your plea of no contest. I'm wanting to ask you though, are you enrolled in high school?
Yes, that's what I wanted to find out about teen court.
Yes, I'm trying to get you there. Are you enrolled in high school?
Yes.
Where do you go to school?
I go to Fred Edwards South Campus of Temple High School.
Yes, Edwards, great. What year are you considered to be in? What grade?
I think I'm supposed to be a junior year, but they have me labeled as sophomore.
Okay, so you're 10th or 11th.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know how that campus works. So you don't have to explain that part to me.
Okay.
So I know it's possible to be 10th, 11th grade over there because of the way the credits, you can roll through that stuff, and you actually can get it done fast. But, my other question then becomes, what happened with the last teen court?
With the first ticket?
Yeah. Yeah, we assigned teen court and you didn't do it. And y'all paid it and it's done. But why didn't you do teen court then? Because it's been less than a year.
They never let me know anything. Because I tried to find out and I kept calling, and then I called the lady from the teen court because I used to be in teen court, but I was on the other side of it.
Yeah.
And so
but here's the thing. Well, let me look at it. But you signed your teen court. Let me look at it. The notes I have is she didn't do it, but did she ever sign it? I'm looking at the order that we made and you signed, and it lists the things you have to do.
From the first one?
I mean, telling me you don't know when you signed it and we handed you a copy when you signed it. I'm
I
pulling.
know, but because this is my second ticket for
I
now.
know, but see, you're asking me for something. See, if someone says, I want teen court, and I grant them teen court, and they don't do it, and then they come in a year later or less than a year later and they say, I want teen court, I'm thinking they're not going to do it again. And, you know, what I have is your order. Thank you. And you signed it, and your parent, Eduardo, signed it. And it was a 3-page essay and a class. And, you know, we told you, and when you signed it, we handed you a copy. So, I mean, saying I didn't know what I was supposed to do, telling you, handing it to you, and giving you a copy of it, what else can I do to let you know? Yes, you can call, but saying you didn't know, that's not really accurate.
Well, I didn't know about the teen court. I did know about that stuff.
That is the teen court. We're in a pandemic, so we're not doing teen court over at the school. That list of things that was due that you signed saying, I will turn these in, when you didn't turn them in, you defaulted on the teen court.
Okay.
And I'm harping on it because you're going to have to do it again. I don't want confusion, because I don't think you could be confused if you signed something, unless you just signed it, we handed it to you and you threw it away.
Well, I didn't throw it away and said I kept forgetting.
Okay, well, that's really different. Saying I don't remember something is different from saying the court didn't tell me. The court told you. You just didn't do it.
Okay.
Here's my next question. What about just getting your driver's license?
Well, I've tried.
Okay. But you keep driving. You know you're not allowed to drive, and you keep driving illegally. Why not get your license and drive lawfully? Because this is for no driver's license.
Well, every time I try to go to a school, it's either that they're packed or it's too expensive.
Tickets are expensive, though.
Well, where should I go?
You should go online and figure out what you need to do to get your driver's license. That's going to be part of your teen court. So with teen court, there's a $20 fee. Can y'all pay that fee today?
Yes.
Okay. And then I want you signed up to get your license. And there's a class that you're going to be required to take. So I want you to give me that information. I think what we're going to do, let's hold on the $20. I'm going to reschedule you for 2 weeks. And I want you to come back on the Zoom. We're going to reschedule your Zoom. And I want you to tell me what you need to do to get a driver's license, because I might be able to use some of that, which you're going to do anyway, towards teen court credit. Right?
Okay.
Because if they require a class that you pay for, I don't want to require another class that you pay for. I'd rather use that class so that you pay for one class and not two. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you go onto the DPS website and you figure out how to get a driver's license there. You get started on it, and next in 2 weeks, I'm rescheduling you for January 4th. You're going to report back to me what you need to do so we can use some of that as part of your teen court. Okay, so I'm resetting you.
Okay.
To do teen court sign up process with me on the 4th. Okay. I think that's a better way to approach it. That way we don't double you up. Okay. Because that gets to be too many things. So we'll send you the reset to the email that we used for today. Is that still a good email?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ms. Laura, do you have any questions right now?
So I have all of my break until to get a license. To get started.
No. to get started and come back and tell me on time for Zoom what it is that you're required to do to get your DL and when you think you can get it. And then we'll go from there. Okay?
Okay.
All right. We'll see you then. Any more questions?
That's it. You have a good day.
Mr. Laura, do you have questions?
No, I'm good. I'll make sure she does it.
Okay, we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Okay, Your Honor. Have a good day.
You too. Ms. Rice, you were talking with, I believe, Mr. Harrison.
I
Is that
was,
right?
yes.
Great. And what did you learn?
I think we reached a resolution, states requesting to do a deferral. Mr. Harrison is not a CDL holder. He's over the age of 25. He can make payment within 30 days. So his deferral period we discussed would be 120 days.
Okay, payment by the 25th, deferral ending on 4/21. Thank you. Mr. Harrison. There you
Yes,
are.
Your Honor.
I need to get a document signed by you. Can you come in to sign it this morning?
Yeah, well, I could be in there. It's gonna be tough. I'm
Can I
working.
email
My
it?
job is-
My other option is to email it to you and have you sign it and email it back to me. You can take a photo of it, but you do have to print it and attach your signature.
Okay, I think I can go to the library maybe and print it somewhere.
Okay, I'll send it to you in a few minutes.
Okay,
Okay, well, we need it back today.
no problem. I'll get it done today.
Yeah,
Okay.
Mr. Harrison, if you're going to the public library in the downtown area, you're very close to the court. It's just up the street. It's like a
No,
block
no,
away.
I would
That's
be.
the Copper's
It would
Cove.
be.
Oh,
It
okay.
would be. Yeah, it would be on my way home, like when I'm near my house, because I work from Temple all the way back down to Copper's Cove. That's
Oh,
how my
okay. Yeah,
schedule
never
normally
mind then.
goes.
Okay, so Mr.
But I'll definitely
Harrison,
get it to you today.
okay, we close at, 4:30 if you're coming by.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for your time, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye. A real quick question, because I didn't see this person, but I just want to double check. Cole Krennick, are you here? Okay, Ms. Rice, I think you're good to go.
Okay. All right. Great.
You
Well, thank
don't-
you.
I guess we will see you. We have pretrial tomorrow, is that right?
I don't have a docket.
No, we don't. We do not.
Okay, good.
It's next week. Merry Christmas.
All right, you two, just real quick, Judge,
Yes.
do you think that you and the court coordinator will be able to get a jury docket together today for the 5th?
Yes, we are working on that today.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, all right, that's it.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, and I'm going to move forward. Let's see. Connor Barton,
Yes, ma'am.
good morning.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
Good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I did see you're enrolled at Yo. Are you still enrolled at Yo High School?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I saw something about a withdrawal and I was wondering, what grade are you in?
I'm a junior.
I think it was some kind of course you were through. Ag, neck. Anyway, and you are working at this time. With teen court, there is a $20 dismissal fee or $20 teen court fee. Can you pay that fee today?
Yes, ma'am.
We are going to have you over here to sign off and bring that payment in.
Okay.
What time do you think you could get over? Say between 12 and 1.
Between 12 o'clock and 1 o'clock.
That's great. Now, with this offense, it's a speeding charge. Did you understand the pleading options of guilty, not guilty, and no contest?
Yes, ma'am.
And you had entered a plea of no contest, is that correct?
Yes.
With teen court, I suspend that process. And I put a teen court order in place. And if you complete teen court, then I dismiss the office. Do you understand?
Okay.
Okay. With this one, I just want you to take a driving safety course. It can be an online course or a course around town. The difference between this one and the regular driver safety course option is that, one, you don't pay the full court cost, and two, I need it within 30 days, which is January 25th. Okay.
Okay.
And that's going to be what's required, is just that fee, the course, turn in on time, and you get a dismissal.
Okay.
It's a 6-hour course, just like you would if you took a regular driving safety course. But you still have that option reserved. Hopefully you won't get another ticket, but if you get another ticket in the next year, you haven't used that option. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Do you have any questions?
Ask when you pay, buddy.
Does my parent have to come to pay, or can I pay it by myself?
You're 16, so a parent has to sign your paper.
Okay.
Until 17, it's legal.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a great question.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So we'll see you between 12 and 1 if that still works for both of you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mother.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. Moving forward. And I'm just going to, my next person is Shalita Florence. Are you still here? Oh, I saw her here earlier. Yes, she was here. But moving forward, Derek Norman. Good morning, Mr. Norman. Good morning. You'll have to unmute. I can't hear you. You have to unmute yourself.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
I'm doing all right. How about you?
Doing all right. I received a no contest plea on the current charge. Let's see, there were two. Let me just double check. Okay, it dates October 18th. The balance is $576 for rubbish. There is also a charge dating from November 17th. And it's a rubbish charge. The balance would be $581. I have not received a plea on that I can tell. How are you pleading to that charge?
No contest.
Okay. And then we have credited you what we could credit you from what you've turned in. There were some things that we weren't able to credit. I believe that's this case. No, sorry, wrong case. Not you. No, and so I can. Has anything changed since you last? I know you've got your organization, and right now you're saying there's no income to that organization, that you have some bills you managed to pay. How are you paying your bills?
I get assistance from my parents, and then also do a few smart projects because I made some T-shirts, and it's like $10, $20 a piece, or some coasters, about $10 to $20. So I'm gonna have a few parents that help if I need fuel, or if I need help paying my car insurance, stuff like that.
Okay. All your cases put together, okay, become 144 hours of community service. Where have you been doing your community service? Remind me.
Last bit I did was at the veterans organization, and actually I got an email back saying that they couldn't verify the hours, so I called them to see what was the issue, and they said there was a lady named Toya that needed to be spoken to, but that was the last place I did my community service hours.
Okay, let me look
there in the Bell County Expo Center.
The Expo Center works, but let me just look at notes. Can I see the full? Are those all the notes? I'm just wanting to make sure that we're good with the provider. Okay, give me one. Yeah, I remember now. We had some hours that were rejected from VA ambassador program. Whoa.
Yes.
And verify the information. So what we do is we don't just call them. We also look online and see if we can find proof of it. Being a nonprofit, that being the requirement. So I just kind of want to let you know, and I also don't have your signature on your waiver form. So I'm going to need you to come by and sign for your cases. We'll have to put the case numbers on this one and just have them sign one. But I can extend what was still pending because we're overdue on it, is I'll do the 8th. And I can give you a new due date of February 22nd. And it's 144 hours. And I'll give you more time. Just, you're risking right now. You're taking the risk of a warrant.
Okay.
I would respectfully ask you to reconsider approaching.
Definitely don't want to do that.
Because I don't think you'll find it good. It's not a very good approach to take.
Yes, ma'am.
Because, well, ultimately, I could sign a warrant the same day. I usually send out a letter and say, hey, please, please, but I'm not really required to do that. And, I think you should probably be a little more respectful to the court.
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate it. We do.
Okay, I've given you an extension, Mr. Norman. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am. Well, one question. Would I be able to have the paperwork emailed me just in case I can't make it to the court before 4:30?
Well, no, I don't think so.
Okay.
Because I need your signature. And it's a big packet. And I've been trying to get your signature for months. So I need it.
Okay. Well, I'll be
Okay.
here.
Thank you. Moving forward, and I just want to make sure Miss Florence is back trying to get in. Let's see. Let me try to get Miss Florence going. Miss Florence?
Yes.
Good morning. I'm Judge Person.
Good morning.
I had just called your name, so perfect. I know you were on here earlier. I just, I know you might be having some technology problems.
Yes.
I don't want to go too fast, but I want to go fast enough to get you going. Are you still with TISD?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I did have a quick question. There was some disability income on the payment application.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you disabled?
My I am from military, and then I get my son's SSI.
Okay. So another question I had, the boys, you have 2 boys, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And I noticed that you were divorced. I wanted to ask you, do you receive child support?
No, ma'am. My ex-husband was my kid's father, and my kids' fathers, they cannot find.
Okay. So the Attorney General is trying to help you with that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure you knew you had that resource available to you. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
What I could do with your case is you had requested $30 a month, and I could do that. That's not a
Okay.
problem. We have warrants, and I think it was the payment plan that had not worked out before.
Yes.
I just want to let you know, and right now it looks financially pretty good for you. So I think $30 a month would not be difficult. But if you run into any kind of complication, come in and talk to a clerk about it. Don't go back to
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I want to also, before you get here today, I'm going to look and see if I can do some reductions on your fines. But I need you to come in and sign for the $30 a month. When can we look for you?
Right after I leave court.
Okay. Can you make a payment today?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
I don't do anything.
Okay, that's all right. If you're working for TISD, that's usually on the 25th. Is that still the case?
I'm
So
sorry.
you get paid on the 25th?
I get paid I'm supposed to get paid on the 30th, so might be the day before the 30th.
Why don't we say that you're paying on the 1st?
Okay.
And that way, if it's the 30th or the 31st or the 1st, it works. And
ma'am.
this coming month, it's going to be a holiday, so it'll be the following business day. But your plan will say every 1st.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So when can I look for you this morning?
As soon as we leave out of here and I throw some clothes on, I'll be there.
Okay, no rush. I'm going to try to do a few reductions.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Forrest. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Thanks.
Thank you.
So the new thing I've learned, ways that you can do the same, reduce, you can do the same form, but it's going to be long. I did talk to you. I just learned procedure. It will look like a reduction. So let me look at the fines when you get a chance. I'm going to move forward, but I'll have to pause in a moment just to get back onto that. But Mr. Ramatka, am I saying that name all wrong?
No, ma'am, you're saying it fine.
Okay, how do you say it?
Hermatka?
Ramatka. Okay, I wasn't too far off. Looking at everything, let me just pull. I've got your file. I made some notes. So we have pleas on everything. That's not the issue. But with this one, okay, so the clerk that worked on your file for me, she did a lot to try to validate this, but basically KB&B, first of all, that set of hours weren't counted because it's not a nonprofit. And if you read the directions that I give you, it's on that front page. I cannot take it. Okay. I'm not allowed to legally take anything from a profit organization. That one is. So you're going to have to do those hours over. The other thing was out at Live Oak Ridge Park. That White Flint Park, we called them. And so the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers would be the entity that would have to sign off on those hours. And the person there, the park ranger, he called back and he basically said, we don't do those hours. We don't do that with people because the paperwork that they have to do on the other side with the federal government is too much for them to do. So they don't even offer that as an option. Whoever signed, the person who signed your paperwork was not authorized by them to do it. And so, like I keep saying over and over to people, if you leave the list, make sure that the entity is a nonprofit and that the person has the right or the authority to sign off on your hours, because otherwise you're going to get stuck doing them again.
Yes, ma'am.
So we're just going to start over, and I'll give you that information again unless you still have it. But we also have updates to our provider list, and this has been since August. So I can email it to you because we've already got your signature.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, but it's still going to be 149 hours. And the due date now is going to be the 22nd. And if you're not done with everything, you probably heard me say this already. You can have more time if you apply to the court for an extension.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And I'm just going to ask them to resend you the information.
And how much were the hours again?
49. And I'm just making a quick note. Provided. And we'll send you a new timesheet, okay?
Terrific.
Okay, do you have any questions?
No, ma'am. Appreciate your time.
Okay. All right, thank you for logging in this morning. Glad we could at least clarify what was going on.
Yes, ma'am.
Get you going back in the right direction, away from
Thank
a warrant. Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm moving forward then with Ms. Durfee.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, just give me one moment, Ms. Durfee.
Okay.
And do it like a route that. Okay. Good morning, Ms. Durfee.
Good morning.
Nice that you have birds singing in the background. That adds a little.
Yeah.
Adds a little something to court this morning. I did receive a plea on all three of your cases. There is a no driver's license charge from October 17th. The fines and costs are $181, and you've pled no contest. There is a registration charge. The fines and costs are $151, and you have pled no contest. And there is a no insurance charge, and the fines and costs are $281, and you have pled no contest. Are those your pleas today?
Yes.
Okay. Were you insured at the time of the stop, October 17th?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And so you had requested a driver safety course on the no driver's license charge, but that's actually not one that you can do that option with. Okay.
I actually, since I've gotten the fines, I've got my driver's permit, and then I went and got my license. So I do have my license now.
Okay, that's great because it'll, help you in the future. On the charges themselves, it doesn't actually allow you to get a dismissal because that's not one that is eligible for a compliance dismissal. But I'm glad you got it because the reality is you keep getting stopped,
Yeah.
I can approve a payment plan. And it looks like on your request, you requested $150 a month. Is that still your request today?
Yes, I can do that.
Okay. And can you come in and sign for your payment plan this morning or this afternoon?
Yes, I can come in today.
Okay. What's a good time do you want to do 150 one time each month or do 75 every 2 weeks?
I can do 75 every 2 weeks.
Okay. Looking at a calendar, when would we start?
I could honestly start today.
Okay. Do you get paid on Tuesdays or is Tuesday always a good day?
I get paid on Fridays.
Okay. And so you were paid last Friday?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so your next pay date, do you want to do it on your pay date or do you want to do it every other Tuesday?
I would rather do it every other Tuesday because I'm off.
Okay, great. Okay. So the clerk will have that set up for you at the window, and it shouldn't take long just to come in and sign for it and make the first payment, okay?
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Durfee.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Mr. Moore, can you get on screen and unmute?
Yes.
How are you today?
I'm doing good. And yourself?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. I did have just a couple of quick questions. We have capiases, and it's a type of warrant. So I'm not going to ask for your plea because we already did that. Okay. but I can order, you're not working, is that right?
Yeah, not right now, not currently.
Okay. Are you in any way disabled?
No.
Okay. I can order community service.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was asking for, and I was kind of telling, I think your clerk that I was currently out of state, and she was telling me, yeah, we get with the judge, and they'll be able to set something up for me, even though I'm out of state or something like that.
Something like that. So listen, and I'll tell you, where are you right now?
California.
Okay. So I need a signature on one form.
Okay.
And I can email you that form. Can you print it somewhere and just take a picture of it or email it back to us?
Yeah, I could get it printed or I could email it back.
Right. Okay. And then what we're going to do is email you a packet, and it'll have instructions, it'll have low places, and it'll have a timesheet. Now, the timesheet is how you log it in. You log in and out. You tell me where you're going. The instructions will tell you that I will accept community service at any nonprofit organization where you're located.
Okay.
But you have to find it. Okay.
Yeah.
So like churches, nursing homes, schools, if they allow you there, libraries, anything like that. You can look under but just ask them to see, like, are you a nonprofit? And we're going to need to see something from them that says they're a nonprofit. So you go ahead and get it from them and send it to us. That's easier, because we call and verify. So make sure we can call whoever it is and verify it, and that we can verify their nonprofit status.
Okay, I could do that.
Okay. So we're going to send it to you. Just read it really carefully. It comes to 62 hours. I've given you triple credit up front. And I'm going to have a due date of February 22nd.
February 22nd.
If you find you can't get it done, it'll be on your paperwork too.
Okay, I ain't got to write it down.
If you find that you can't get it done, you'll need to email and ask for an extension. Otherwise, submit everything before that date. Call and make sure we got your email, check on it. Don't let yourself go back to warrant. Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to get that done ASAP this time.
Yeah, it'd be good if you just knocked it out, and then I can clear you out, and you don't have to worry about us anymore.
Yeah. Okay. That's the goal.
Absolutely the goal. Yeah, I have the same goal that you do.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so just get it done, and if you hit any kind of snag, just email me through that same email that you used for this, and say, here's what I've got. This is how much more time I need. Reach out. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
When can I expect the email?
Probably in the next half hour. I'm looking at her. Is that about realistic? She's kind of laughing at me. I would say in the next hour.
Okay, it works.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Moore.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Seeing no further participants.